So if you happen to stumble upon this video, this is English practice week 40, day 5, and I record each day, or at least I will try to, about 5 minutes of reading from a dictionary. The purpose is to practice English and pronunciation, and I'm using Collins Cobuild dictionary, and yeah, and then I'll time it with the hourglass. So let's go for it. Abbess, abbess, and abbess is the nun who is in charge of the other nuns in a convent. Abbey. An abbey is a church with buildings attached to it in which monks or nuns lived or used to live. Abbot. Abbot. An abbot is the monk who is in charge of the other monks in a monastery or abbey. Abbreviate. If you abbreviate something, especially a word or a piece of writing, you make it shorter. He abbreviated his first name to Alec. Abbreviation. An abbreviation is a short form of a word or phrase made by leaving out some of the letters or by using only the first letter of each word. The postal abbreviation for Kansas is KS. ABC. The ABC of a subject or activity is the parts of it that you have to learn first because they are the most important and basic. The ABC of Marxism. Children who have learned their ABC or their ABCs have learned to recognize, write, or say the alphabet. Abdicate. If a king or queen abdicates, he or she gives up being king or queen. The last French king was Louis Philippe, who abdicated in 1848. Abdication. Abdication. The most serious royal crisis since the abdication of Edward VIII. If you say that someone has abdicated responsibility for something, you disapprove of them because they have refused to accept responsibility for it any longer. Disapproval, abdication. Many parents simply abdicate all responsibility for their children. Abdication. There had been a complete abdication of responsibility. Abdomen. Your abdomen is the part of your body below your chest where your stomach and intestines are. He had pains in his abdomen. Abdominal. Describe something that is situated in the abdomen or forms part of it. Vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Abdominals. You can refer to your abdominal muscles as your abdominals when you are talking about exercise. Abduct. If someone is abducted by another person, he or she is taken away illegally, usually using force. His car was held up and he was abducted by 4 gunmen. She was charged with abducting a 6-month-old child. Abductor. She cooperated with her abductor. Aberrant. Aberrant means unusual and not socially acceptable. Ian's yarns, rages, and aberrant behavior worsened. Aberration is an incident or way of behaving that is not typical. It became very clear that the incident was not just an aberration. Aberration. Abet. If one person abets another, they help or encourage them to do something criminal or wrong. Abet is often used in the legal expression aid and abet. His wife was sentenced to 7 years imprisonment for aiding and abetting him. Abeyance. Abeyance. If something is in abeyance, it is not operating or used at the present time. Abeyance. Abhor. If you abhor something, you hate it very much, especially for moral reasons. He was a man who abhorred violence and was deeply committed to reconciliation. Abhorrence. Someone's abhorrence of something is their strong hatred of it. They are anxious to show their abhorrence of racism. Abhorrent. If something is abhorrent to you, you hate it very much or consider it completely unacceptable. A racial discrimination is abhorrent to my council and to our staff. Abide. If you can't abide someone or something, you dislike them very much. I can't abide people who can't make up their minds. Can't abide people who can't make up their minds. Abide by. If you abide by a law, agreement, or decision, you do what it says you should do. They have got to abide by the rules. Abiding. An abiding feeling, memory, or interest is one that you have for a very long time. Is a genuine and abiding love of craft. Ability. Your ability to do something, ability. Your ability to do something is the fact that he can do it. The public never had faith in his ability to handle the job. He has the ability to bring out the best in others. Your ability is the quality or skill that you have which makes it possible for you to do something. Her drama teacher spotted her ability. They repeatedly questioned his leadership abilities. Does the school cater for all abilities? If you do something to the very best of your abilities or to the best of your ability, you do it as well as you can. I can take care of the best of my abilities. I can take care of them to the best of my abilities. Abject. Use abject to emphasize that a situation or quality is extremely bad. Abject. Both of them died in abject poverty. This scheme was an abject failure. Both have failed abjectly. Abjure. If you abjure something, such as a belief or a way of life, you state publicly that you will give it up or that you reject it. A formal statement abjuring a military action. A formal statement abjuring military action. Ablaze. Something that is ablaze is burning very fiercely. Shops, houses, and vehicles were set ablaze. If a place is ablaze with lights or colors, it is very bright because of them. The chamber was ablaze with lights. Able. Able. If you are able to do something, you have skills or qualities which make it possible for you to do it. The older child should be able to prepare a simple meal. The company say they are able to keep pricing competitive. They seemed able to work together very efficiently. Phrase. If you are able to do something, you have enough freedom, power, time or money to do it. You'll be able to read in peace. It would be nice to be able to afford to retire earlier. Someone who is able is very clever or very good at doing something. One of our brightest and ablest members of the government. So synonyms of able is capable or capable, experienced. It's a team packed with experienced and mature professionals. Skilled, new industry demanded skills, labor not available locally. Competent, he was loyal, distinguished and a very competent civil servant. Suffix able forms adjectives that indicate what someone or something can have done to them. For example, if something is movable, it is possible to move it. Alright, that was for today. Page for today. Tomorrow we continue on the next page.